The signs weren't loud, they were subtle, scattered, almost easy to dismiss. Until suddenly they weren't. 2 missing green dots on Instagram tiny signals set off an avalanche of speculation. People began to notice Justin Bieber showing up alone at events while Hailey was seen enjoying getaways without him. The couple who once felt fused at the hip had all but vanished from each other's digital lives. What used to feel like a tight, unbreakable bond now looked worn down and weary, and now the quiet whispers are no longer whispers. Justin has reportedly confirmed what fans feared all along. He and Hailey are heading toward divorce. For years, they were the couple people pointed to united through media storms, relentless gossip, and personal trials. But something has shifted. Justin looks emotionally distant and Hailey is constantly seen solo. Their connection doesn't just seem dimmed, it feels fractured. Sources close to them say deeper issues have been brewing behind closed doors. Some even suggest that Justin may be slipping back into old destructive patterns, including possible drug use, and navigating a relationship under that kind of emotional and public weight? Nearly impossible. Then came the unexpected trigger. Selena Gomez, Justin's infamous ex, recently got engaged. No public reaction from either Justin or Hailey, but the timing stung. Watching someone you once loved step into a new chapter just as your own is closing, that cuts deep. Fans couldn't ignore the puzzle pieces coming together. Justin spending Valentine's Day alone at a go-kart track. A vague, out-of-nowhere comment on a Keke Palmer post. Hailey on a tropical trip, no wedding ring. Then the ultimate quiet blow. Justin unfollowing Hailey on Instagram. In today's world, that move speaks louder than words. Even when they were photographed together, it didn't feel right. The smiles looked forced, the energy off. Hailey began posting quotes about feeling unseen and trying to rediscover meaning. One post in particular about emotional exhaustion blew up online. People took it as a cry for help, a glimpse into her private heartbreak. Meanwhile, Justin appears lost in his own storm. Close friends say he's emotionally unsteady again. The spotlight never helps, but when your relationship is breaking in front of millions, the pain becomes unbearable. This isn't just a breakup. It's the unraveling of 2 people trying to stay afloat while everything around them is caving in. Despite all the cracks, some fans still held on to hope. They clung to fleeting moments. Justin and Hailey spotted quietly holding hands, showing soft smiles during rare outings. It wasn't much, but it felt like a lifeline. Proof, maybe, that they were still trying behind the scenes. That somehow love could survive even this. But as those glimpses became fewer and farther between, the silence began speaking louder. Their social media once overflowing with cute couple posts and loud declarations of forever turned into a cryptic minefield. No more anniversary shoutouts, no more shared photos. Just vague quotes, quiet reposts, and subtle hints of pain. Every post, every like, every caption was analyzed to death. People weren't just watching, they were decoding. Hailey recently posted about finding inner peace and letting go of people who block your light. It felt like more than a quote. It felt like preparation. A soft warning that something final was coming. And Justin? He's been retreating inward, turning to music, therapy. He's processing more than just the breakdown of a marriage. He's facing the emotional wreckage of everything he's ever been through. Sources say he's making progress, slowly, but it's a brutal road. Fame might amplify your voice, but it doesn't give you shelter when the storm hits. Justin's past still follows him. The spotlight has never been gentle. And now, with the collapse of something he once believed in so deeply, that pressure is heavier than ever. Then there's Selena, now engaged to Benny Blanco. She's not saying anything publicly, but her presence looms large. Her joy, her new beginning, it's stirring up old wounds in both Justin and Hailey. Not intentionally, but undeniably. She's moved forward while they're unraveling. And that contrast? It's impossible to ignore. The story keeps twisting, and fans are left asking the same question over and over. Is this really the end for Justin and Hailey? Or is there still a chance for a comeback? Every detail, every rumor, every post has become part of a bigger picture, one that's less about drama and more about the quiet agony of love fading in real time. And then there's the pressure, the kind that never lets up, not from each other, but from the world watching every move. Reporters are camped outside their homes. Paparazzi flashbulbs go off like alarms. Tabloids twist every interaction into a headline. Even a grocery run becomes breaking news. It's relentless. But behind all of that noise, Justin and Hailey are still trying. Sources say they've been attending therapy together. Not for show. Not for headlines, but because they're trying to find clarity. Can they salvage what they had? Or has the damage gone too far? It's a question they're asking in quiet moments, away from the spotlight, away from the noise. These sessions are raw, painful, but necessary. And while the internet spins wild theories, the couple is navigating something deeply human. They're not just fighting for their marriage, they're fighting to understand who they are outside of it. It's hard enough to figure that out when no one's looking. Now imagine millions of people picking sides. Some fans are still rooting for them, posting old videos with captions like, "True love always finds its way back." Others are convinced that the countdown to divorce has already started. But behind every opinion, one thing matters most: their mental and emotional health. These aren't just celebrities. They're two people who built something real, and now they're watching it fracture in front of the world. Fame makes everything louder. The highs, the lows, the cracks, none of it stays private. Even healing becomes something to comment on. And that's what makes this story so powerful. It's not just about Justin and Hailey. It's about how hard it is to grow and grieve at the same time. Justin has thrown himself into the studio. His songs are different now, more vulnerable, more personal. Lyrics about heartbreak, regret, hope. You can feel him trying to make sense of everything through the music. Some fans say he's crying out, others say he's finally waking up. Maybe it's both. And Hailey? She's focused on her skincare brand, Rhode Beauty. It's growing fast. And those closest to her say that in the middle of all this emotional chaos, that business is the one thing giving her a sense of direction. It's her escape, her reset button. Selena's engagement continues to cast a shadow, not because she's done anything wrong, but because her happiness is impossible to ignore. It's a reminder of how much has changed, how far apart these three lives have grown. Her smile in those engagement photos, the quiet way she carries herself, it's not meant to provoke, but it reopens chapters that never really closed, especially for Justin. The past doesn't just vanish. Not when it's been dissected by millions. Not when it's shaped entire fan communities and public identities. Selena's love story with Benny feels like a fresh beginning for her. But for Justin and Hailey, it's stirred old memories. Memories of a time when things were simpler or at least less exposed. Now, in 2025, everything feels different. Fans are watching more closely than ever, holding their breath for what comes next. Will Justin and Hailey finally announce a split? Or will they surprise everyone and hold on a little longer? Nobody knows. But everyone's watching, still, despite all the speculation. One thing stands out: both Justin and Hailey are trying to find peace in their own ways. They've been stepping back from the cameras, taking space, attending therapy alone and together. It's not glamorous, but it's real. And that's what makes it matter. Because for once, this isn't about a headline. It's about healing. About two people trying to figure out whether their love is still enough in the middle of so much noise. And even though they have millions of followers, this journey feels incredibly personal. Some fans are holding on to the idea that love can still win. Others are accepting that some relationships aren't meant to last forever. But beneath all the noise is a quiet truth. Justin and Hailey are human, hurt, healing, and navigating heartbreak in a way that mirrors so many others. Just on a global stage. Justin keeps writing. His music is more confessional now. Lines that feel like diary entries, songs that don't just entertain, they expose. Fans study every lyric, searching for clues, for pain, for progress. And they're finding both. Meanwhile, Hailey is staying busy, Rhode Beauty is booming, and people around her say she's becoming more confident outside of her marriage. She's finding herself again, not as Justin's wife, but as her own person. And while Selena's world keeps moving forward, hers feels more stable than ever. With Benny by her side, she's embracing this new chapter quietly, confidently. There's no need for dramatic posts or flashy headlines. Her silence says it all. She's in a place of peace, something she's fought hard to reach. For fans, that contrast is striking. Selena's calm feels like closure. Meanwhile, Justin and Hailey seem like they're still stuck between what was and what's next. And even though their timelines no longer align, the past still echoes through every song, every unfollow, every headline. New fans get caught up in the story and old ones never really left. The internet doesn't forget. It stitches every update into a bigger narrative, one that's been unraveling for over a decade. But under all the speculation and memes, there's something very human happening, because this isn't just about celebrity gossip, it's about how hard it is to heal when you're still being watched. It's about how complicated it is to move on when your history keeps showing up on everyone's feed. The drama, the silence, the glimmers of hope, it's all painfully real. And while Justin and Hailey live under constant pressure, they're still trying to find their footing. There's no clear villain here, no perfect ending waiting around the corner. Just people making the best decisions they can with the emotional weight they carry. Some moments give fans hope. A candid photo, a quiet dinner, a shared smile. But they're fleeting, rare. More often, what we see is distance. Time apart. Hailey focusing on her career. Justin writing songs that sound like Heartbreak. And Selena, unintentionally or not, keeps reminding everyone how healing looks when it works. Her engagement has become a symbol not just of love, but of starting fresh after years of public heartache. It's resonating with people who've been through the same, even if their names aren't in the headlines. This story, once just about a love triangle, has turned into something deeper. It's about letting go. About what happens when forever doesn't last. And how each person in their own way tries to move forward, one lyric, one post, one quiet decision at a time. As the spotlight keeps following them, one thing is clear: this story is far from over. Whether Justin and Hailey find their way back to each other or finally choose to walk separate paths, their next steps will echo beyond our own lives. Every move they make is tracked by cameras, analyzed by fans, and turned into headlines. But behind all of that, they're just two people trying to survive something quietly breaking apart. This isn't just about a celebrity couple anymore. It's about what it means to lose something slowly. To feel it slipping away but not know how to stop it. For Justin, every song he writes now feels like a step in that painful direction. Fans can feel it. The sadness between the chords, the honesty in his lyrics. They're raw, almost too raw to ignore. Hailey, meanwhile, has adopted a different approach. She's not spilling her feelings online. She's not giving interviews or addressing rumors. She's just moving forward. Her silence isn't empty. It's powerful. It says she's focusing on healing, not headlines. And that quiet strength is resonating with people who've been through their own emotional battles. Selena's role in all of this may be unintentional, but it's deeply felt. Her engagement didn't just stir old emotions, it redefined the landscape. It forced everyone involved to confront what they'd moved on from or thought they had. And it reminded fans that even when the dust settles, love leaves echoes. People often forget that fame doesn't shield you from heartbreak. If anything, it magnifies it. It puts it on display. And Justin and Hailey are living proof. Their relationship is under a microscope. And yet the most important part's what they're saying in private. How they're trying to heal remain unseen. That's where the truth lives. In therapy sessions, in late-night talks, in the decision to post nothing instead of pretending everything's okay. Their silence isn't weakness, it's a boundary. And in a world where everyone demands answers, that boundary feels revolutionary. No one knows how this ends. But what's certain is that healing takes time. Real healing. The kind that happens away from the spotlight. The kind that isn't pretty, but necessary. And right now, that's what Justin and Hailey seem to be reaching for. Fans continue to pick sides. Some are still holding on to hope, believing Justin and Hailey will find a way to rebuild what's been breaking. Others, equally loyal, are rooting for Selena and see her journey as a quiet triumph after years of public heartbreak. But beyond all the fan theories and social media noise, something deeper is happening. People aren't just watching, they're feeling, because this isn't just about fame. It's about being human, about losing someone you love, about standing beside someone who's falling apart and not knowing how to help, about seeing someone you once trusted turn into someone you barely recognize. And for all the luxury and lights, the truth remains, none of them are immune to that kind of pain. As the headlines continue to roll out, Justin stays focused on the one thing that's always been his therapy: music. Those close to him say he's been writing more than ever. Not for a tour or an album, but because he needs to. Because putting feelings into lyrics is the only way he knows how to breathe when everything else feels suffocating. Hailey is doing the same in her own way. She's pouring herself into road beauty, not just as a businesswoman, but as someone rebuilding identity beyond being someone's wife. Her brand has become a kind of armor proof that she can create something meaningful on her own, in her own voice. And in that, there's healing. Selena, meanwhile, remains gracefully silent. She posts about her life, her work, her joy, but never directly addresses the noise surrounding her. That restraint only adds to the mystery. It makes fans feel like they're watching someone who has finally closed a chapter, someone who no longer feels the need to explain herself. And maybe that's what makes this story so powerful. It mirrors something real: the end of relationships, the shock of betrayal, the strength it takes to move on without answers. No matter how beautiful or broken it all seems, it's painfully human. And that's why people can't stop watching. This story is far from finished, and the lives involved keep shifting in directions no one could have predicted. Justin has been quietly channeling everything into his music, using melody and verse to process heartbreak that words can't quite express. His fans know the difference. They can feel the weight in his voice. They can sense when a lyric isn't just poetry, but truth. Hailey, on the other hand, is drawing boundaries. She's choosing her peace. She's focusing on her brand, on wellness, on creating something steady in a world that constantly shakes. Her foundation, there's something empowering in that. Not every woman chooses to speak out, but every action she takes says something loud. She's not folding. She's choosing herself. Selena, quietly but confidently, seems more rooted than ever. Her life with Benny Blanco looks stable, easy, and for once simple. There's a calmness about her presence now, a peace that wasn't there during the years of constant online comparison and emotional turmoil. It's not just a new relationship, it's a new chapter. And she's not looking back. And yet, even as they all drift in separate directions, their names remain tied together. Their past, their choices, their public love stories, they continue to ripple through pop culture. Fans, both old and new, are still captivated. Not because they expect a reunion, but because something about this tangled triangle reflects the heartbreak. We all know too well, it's more than celebrity gossip now. It's a symbol of how the past doesn't always stay in the past, of how love can echo for years, of how moving on doesn't always mean forgetting. And that's what keeps people talking. Not because they want drama, but because deep down, they understand it. The story may have changed, but the emotions haven't. And as long as those feelings remain relatable, this narrative will never fully fade.